love it when you cook and it turns out amazing. It's delicious, it's healthy, and you just want to eat more. Oh my gosh, get it in my mouth. Hey everybody, I'm Holly. Welcome back to my channel. I recently made a video with my top 3 Japanese superfoods that you should be eating regularly. In it, we made miso soup using miso paste. Miso paste is an incredible food. It has tons of minerals, vitamins B, K, folic acid, and because it is a fermented food, it's really good for your gut. So today I wanted to show you 3 more foods that you can make using miso paste. 2 of the recipes that I want to show you today actually come from this cookbook. It's a basic Japanese cookbook that I was gifted when I lived in Japan. The great thing about this book is that it comes in dual language, so on the one side you've got Japanese and on the other you've got English. Today we're actually going to be making this tofu steak and miso pork dish, but as you can see I've got so many of these recipes highlighted that I've made and loved. I'm going to put a little link. I actually found this on Amazon and I'm going to put a link in the description box below if you're interested in checking it out. But the great thing about this book, and obviously I'm not affiliated with it or anything, but I just love it. I found it so useful for me with my kind of Japanese cooking as a beginner, especially if you like to kind of hold something tangible rather than looking things on the web. But a lot of the recipes, so it has very basic recipes, rice and noodle recipes, soup recipes, and then meat dishes, vegetable dishes. Ooh, as you can see, it's been very well loved by me. It is falling apart a bit, but I still love it. Anyway, let's get started with our miso pork and tofu. I've gathered together all the ingredients that we're going to need for this recipe. First things first, you're going to need miso paste. This is just the one that I get at the Japanese store. They also sell it at Korean stores too. It's not a particularly special one. The only issue that you might want to be thinking about with miso is that it is pretty high in sodium. You can buy lower sodium ones, but if you need to avoid sodium for any reasons, I probably would avoid the miso in that case completely, because I think the lower sodium one is still pretty high in sodium. But yeah, this is just the one I get. You're going to need a block of tofu. This is a medium firm tofu. You could also get the very firm tofu. I do not suggest using soft because we're going to be cooking it and you don't want it to fall apart. We're going to need about 3 ounces of ground pork or minced pork. So I'm just going to pop the rest of this in the freezer to use at a later time. You'll also need some spring onions or green onions just chopped up to go in with the pork. A piece of ginger, sake, and a little bit of sugar. The first thing we want to do is get this tofu draining. So we're going to drain out all the water. We're going to cut the tofu down the middle. So we're left with 2 blocks. And then we're going to cut it again into 4 pieces. So just pop it in a sieve and then we're going to leave it in the sink to drain for a while we prepare the rest of it. Next we'll prepare our spring onion and our ginger. We're just going to mince our green onion. Then we're going to also mince the ginger. And then you're going to get these ingredients all mixed together, ready to go in with the mince once it's on the go. So 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of sake, and 4 tablespoons of miso. Next up, we're going to add a little bit of sesame oil to the pan. Add in our ginger. Next, I'm going to be showing you how to make miso aubergine stir fry. You're going to need some aubergines, your miso, hondashi. This is kind of like soupy base broth thing, kind of fishy broth. You can buy it again in like Korean shops or Japanese store, and I actually also found it on Amazon, so I'll leave a link below for you. You're going to need sake and then sugar. You'll also need one of these guys. You can either use a fresh red chili. I tend to have these dried ones on hand a lot, so I just like shove one of these and I just am gonna peel off this little stalk bit before I use it. So let's peel the aubergine, the eggplant, so leaving alternating strips of skin. That's so that the aubergine can absorb the flavor better. Otherwise, it's difficult for the flavor to penetrate through the skin. I'm just going to cut off the top. And then you want to kind of cut this into different kind of chunks. I just like to twist it when I cut, so you get a bit more interesting shapes. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to prepare my flavoring that's going to go on it. So with the hondashi, here's one I prepared earlier, as they like to say on craft shows. Always wanted to say that. Anyway, so it's just about half a teaspoon of the powder that I used, and then added 50 mils of hot water. And then I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of miso, 2 tablespoons of sake, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Once this is all done, I'm going to start by sauteing the aubergine in sesame oil. Once the aubergine is looking pretty nice and cooked, I will add in the peppers and this stock, you know, the flavoring that I'm making right now. The final recipe I want to show you is a miso carrot salad dressing. I got the recipe from my mother-in-law. She always makes it and it's always delicious, so I'm hoping mine turns out just as good as hers. Of course, we're going to be needing miso, olive oil, honey, apple cider vinegar, carrots, ginger, just enough to make a teaspoon's worth, and onion. Let's give them a little taste, shall we? So this is the miso pork with tofu. Pretty much looking forward to this one. So the ginger should be very, very tasty with it as well. Here we go. Oh yeah, the ginger is really good. is delicious. Very, very delicious. I'm also serving, this is my lunch, so I'm also having rice with it, and I've got a little bit of brown rice mixed into my white rice. My salad dressing looks amazing. Look how vibrant that color is. Oh. That is so good. The only thing I wish is I had a Vitamix or something a little bit more powerful when I was processing it, because it is a little bit, I guess, kind of grainy or gritty. With the carrot, I can definitely kind of feel little chunks of carrot. So if I had a food processor that was a little bit more powerful, that would be 100% amazing. Okay, next up is the eggplant. This is one of my husband's favorites. He loves eggplant, aubergine, so I do make this quite often. It's always really good. I know it doesn't look as appealing, but my goodness, it's love. Lovely, I meant to say. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm gonna go off and finish my lunch, but I hope you guys will try these recipes. They're so good for you, the miso. I hope you'll enjoy them. Leave me a comment, let me know if you do. I'd love to hear from you. See you later, my darlings. Bye. Maybe I should start making mukbang videos. God, it's good. Really good.